Yeah, sorry about that, but I like Top Gear. I'm afraid to admit it, but when you get one, you get another, then you get another, and then you get another, and then you get a lot more, and then you kind of realise you might be a bit of a fan. Top Gear is a BBC program on BBC Two, usually on Sundays at about 8 o'clock. Currently, it's on season 21, 22, I think. But it is basically just a car show, but it's a car show with a difference. It involves these three lads. I hardly call them lads because they're all in their 40s/50s. So you got Richard Hammond on the left, you got Jeremy Clarkson in the middle, and you got James May on the end. And the Stig, who there have been two Stigs. There was the Black Stig, who was Perry McCarthy, to be revealed, and then there was the White Stig, who, if you remember a while back, there was this big thing in the paper. He actually turned out to be a man called Ben Collins. Now, both of them are actually racing drivers. I'm told I'm not actually a big sort of Formula One or kind of racing fan. I can't stand watching Formula One because it's so fucking dull. However, in order to drive some of the cars that you have to drive on Top Gear, you need to have a F1 license, and that's the only way you can get them. So, with regard to the new Stig, I'm actually convinced there's actually more than one, but we'll probably never find it. Probably, how did that come out? Anyway, the reason that this is a program with a difference is primarily because it's not just a case of they just drive around, give a verdict, and then that's basically it, and then shuffle on to the next car. It is a fact that they have fun with it. So, for instance, the basic premise will start off with pretty much a road test, then the news, and then something else, whether it be a review or a short or a film. That's usually split in two. Then you'll have the star and the reasonably priced car. Try saying that very quickly. Reasonably priced car. Quickly. Go on. Go. Done? Right. And then it'll end with the other half of the short film. And then it will end. Now, some of the things that they've had to do, for instance, are actually genuinely quite tough. So, for instance, there is one here where, if you bear with me just a moment, they actually go to the North Pole. Why can't I find any of these? Right, there you go. The Polar Special. They actually have to drive to the North Pole to prove that it can actually be done. Now, that one is actually very difficult because of the sheer task at hand, driving on thin ice in uncharted area where the nearest hospital is something like 1,500 miles away, the nearest helicopter is 900 miles away, that sort of stuff. Then it got slightly less difficult. So, for instance, the next one was Middle East Special, where they had to become the Three Wise Men. Then you had the US and Albania road trips, which were pretty much what they sound like. The Polar Special, the US Special, where they have to basically drive 1,000 miles. The driving challenges all end up being about 1,000-mile distance. That's the kind of set benchmark. Then you have the Botswana and Vietnam Special, where they go to Vietnam, but they have to use bikes instead of cars because the 200% import tax, so cars haven't got a chance to be cheap, and Clarkson can't drive a bike, and that's really quite fun. The director's cut of the South America Special and Romania and Bonneville. Those are the sort of more recent ones. Then we have the Winter Olympics. I'm just going to go through these quickly. And then they did the challenges. Now, I have got challenges 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. I have no idea. I don't think number 4 was particularly a good one. That's why I didn't buy it. But basically, I'm going to really quickly run through these. So you got the Ashes, car trains, cars for 17-year-olds, Snowbine Harvester, 4-seat convertible, Demolition, Marauder, Jaguar E-Type 50th, Amputee Rally, Range Rover Evoque, Jaguar XJ versus the Sun, Amy Williams versus the WRC Mini, Skoda Yeti, that's on number 6. Number 5 is Motorhomes, Making of the Car Advert, British Sports Cars, Cheap Saloons in Germany, Dakar Car versus Snowmobiles, Topsy Turvy, Reliant Robins, Gravity Drop Race, Maze Volcano Adventure, The Twingo in Belfast, Caravan Airship, Airport Vehicles Race, and the Veyron in Hyperdrive. My favourite on this one being the Motorhomes. Challenges 3, Cheap Alphas, British Leyland Challenge, Race Across Japan, Top Gear versus the Germans, Lorry Challenge, Richards F1 Challenge, Fox Hunting and Bus Racing. That's number 3. Number 2 is Amphibious Cars, the sequel, which is actually very good. Bugatti Veyron versus the Eurofighter, Race Across London, Motorhome Racing, Greatest Driving Road, Fiat 500 versus the BMX, and the 24-hour race. And on number 1, the Robin Reliant Space Shuttle, which is a good one. Building the Amphibious Cars Part 1, which is also very good. Building a limo. Don't like Lamar in it. He's actually a bit of a twat. And so is Chris Moyles. Building a convertible. Parkour versus Peugeot 207. The Veyron race from Alba. And crap 70s supercars. Top Gear gets put under a lot of stick for some of the stuff that they do. Sometimes it is pretty much self-imposed. But that's their fault. But it does offer all of us a great laugh on a Sunday night. So if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. You can go and find it on topgear.com. Like all the other ones, I'm going to put links to all the things that I've reviewed, so you can go and see for it yourself. Okay? Now, I'm going to come back to you at some point this week with a different review. Don't know what, but I'm sure it will be legend. Wait for it. Dairy. Told you, wait for it. Bye.